Alrighty, hello. We are, I think, all live and good. Make sure everything looks fantastic. It's been a while, I guess, since I have streamed, so hello. Hope everyone is doing well tonight. Thank you all for tuning in to a little bit of an off schedule during the week stream. We're gonna be out of town this weekend, so I decided I was gonna stream tonight because I had the time, and yeah, it is it's where we are, I think. So today we're gonna keep working on oh, here, let me we're gonna continue working on our Stream Seeker project, which is our Twitch stream browser that we're making. It's been a little bit since I've done any sort of work on it, TBH, so we're gonna dive back into it. What we had sort of started on but didn't actually get anywhere in terms of implementing was doing filters. So we're gonna go ahead and get started on that today. Oh, excuse me. All right, we're good. Yeah, so I think I think we styled everything, so we're good there. So getting filter system and viewer count filters implemented. So this is probably gonna be I think the harder part of what we've done so far. So everything we've done so far hasn't been too terrible, but I think this is gonna be the part where things start getting a little difficult in terms of making requests and sort of collating them together and doing well on that. Yeah, so we're gonna go ahead and dive into that. If anyone has questions about the project or anything else, obviously feel free to ask. Yeah, we'll go ahead and get into that. Oh, I grabbed my water. Okay. So I think first things first, we're gonna wanna go ahead and oh, what do I have? Oh, we had we added a added missing package. I had a package that I added. I got this set up on my Windows computer. I had been developing it on my Mac, but I got to setting it up, and oh, what is happening? Oh, my password. Hello? There we go, we got it. What? Did I not do it? Hello? Also, why can't I? Oh. Fuck, what did I make this password? I actually don't remember. Okay, we got it. I was like, I swear I use a password manager. I know that makes it look like I don't. I have a GPG key on my desktop, which I'm not used to. I don't have it on my laptop. I probably should, but it has. I thought it was asking for my SSH key, which is why I was so confused, because I was like, well, I'm just committing. Like, I'm not actually pushing. But yeah. So yeah, as a look to see, this is what the app looks like right now. We sort of styled and made things look halfway decent. There's a lot of things that can be done still. Excuse me. You're able to add categories. We don't have a autocomplete right now, but like if you type in a category manually, it'll filter streams based on that category. And yeah, it'll show up here, and then you can click it to remove it. Oh, we were supposed to add an X button. I don't think we ever did. Was that in the mockups? I don't remember. Anyways, I'm not gonna worry about the oh, I can't speak words right now. I'm not gonna worry about the style of it right now. I spent quite a bit of time on that. Yeah, Dylan, thank you so much for the host. Welcome, dude. What's going on? Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Yeah, we spent a bit of time on styling, sort of got sidetracked from doing actual features, so, you know, we're gonna sort of ignore that. Homework is going on, oh no! Oh, not, oh no, okay, that's good. Oh, fun homework. Oh, that's a rarity. So, okay, that's good. That's good. All right. So, yeah, we're going to go ahead and get started on the filters. So, the filters themselves are going to be more. So, the first one we're going to implement sort of the base system for it. And then we're going to implement the viewer count filter. Yeah, that's basically gonna be like being able to filter by viewer count. There are some interesting problems here that I think we're gonna run into. But yeah, I guess we'll sort of cross those bridges once we get to them. I think the first thing we're gonna do is try and set up our Redux store first. So that way we can get how the store is gonna work. I should really split this into a separate thing. Okay. 9 months back begs to differ. Yeah, most homework can be like really tedious and not not a lot of fun. So it's good that it's entertaining though. That's, I think, yeah, a good thing to find. So we're gonna go ahead and check out the Redux docs. Oh, I said docus. That's not what I wanted. So one of the things we're gonna do is that we don't have right now our store as it exists. Why is this yelling at me? Also, I'm in JavaScript, so I'm making TypeScript errors. It's really weird. Anyways, so what we're doing right now is our store is basically just for configuring a store with only one reducer. So we need to do one with multiple reducers. We're using not Redux, so we're using a Redux starter kit is what it's called. So we're gonna go ahead and look up the docs for that. Because I know it talks about this pattern, I just kind of ignored it. Configure store. Okay. Configure store, we give it a reducer, which is what we're doing. So yeah, we're using Redux to clarify because I haven't really used Redux in a project before, so we're sort of giving it a try. I'm not very experienced with Redux, so this part of the stream might be a little interesting just because I don't actually know what I'm doing. But yeah. Introducing create reducer, we've already done that. What is create slice? Have I done this already? Am I using create? Oh, you can simplify the code even more. Oh, I didn't realize this. Okay, well, let's follow along with this then. So let's review what the counter example looks like at this point. So mine is pretty similar. So they make two different actions. They make a reducer and then they make a store with that action. Which was what we're doing. We've got two different actions here. We've got a reducer, and then we've got a store. So they're saying you can combine, why do we even need to generate the action creator separately to write out this action type strings? The really important part here is the reducer functions. That's where the create slice function comes in. Excuse me. It allows us to provide an object with the reducer functions, and it will automatically generate the action type strings and action creator functions based on the names of the reducers we listed. Oh, that's kind of nice. Create slice returns a slice object that contains a generated reducer function as a field name reducer, and the generated action creators inside an object called actions. So yeah, where am I? Most of the time you probably want to use ESXT structuring syntax to pull out the action creator functions. Okay, so this is gonna be a bit of a refactor, I think, but we're gonna do it. So the first part is, so it'll basically be refactoring this part. So, counter slice. To given it, so create your reducer will be given an initial state already right now. So all we're changing this to is this is going to be create slice, which we're importing from starter kit, and then we're giving it an object. Oh, sorry. So instead of having this as a separate parameter, we have a single object. it's gonna have, oh, wrong way. Initial state is going to be the empty array. And then we have an object called reducers. Sorry, I'm getting used to this keyboard again. I use a slightly different layout keyboard at work, and that's the one I like do coding most often on, so. Okay, so reducers, so we just do, just give them strings. Oh yeah, because the strings are the same names as the actions, which is why we have them in that weird array syntax. So we should be able to delete this. So we have initial state is an empty array. We have the two reducers, and then the reducer is categories dot reducer. Okay, so now I think that seems fine. Add categories not exported from stores main. Wait, what? Okay, so we're using this in main page wrapper.js. Here, let me set option on. Organize imports as Shift Alt O. Okay. Okay, so we're gonna go into main page wrapper. Oh, so we've imported the actions. Excuse me. So instead, I think what happens is we export. They call it, what's the naming convention? It's a slice. So we a category slice, and then this is going to be so category slice.reducer, and then we're going to go ahead and export this so we can import it other places. So if we go ahead and import category slice from stores main, and then we're mapping dispatch.props here, so we're gonna have const action. I think it said actions is equal to category slice. Yep, actions, and then actions should have both of those, so then this should be actions.add category, and then actions.remove category. Okay, why is it yelling me about this? It should have a payload. Why is it undefined? So the weird part is these are TypeScript errors technically, and we're not, we're not using TypeScript. So I'm gonna go ahead and just do all the changes, and I think this should work fine. I'm following the example code pretty closely, so I don't think it's actually gonna cause issues. Okay, so category selector wrapper is also using this. This category slice, and then this should be const actions equals category size. Oh, and actually I can do this too. Const add category, remove category equals actions. This is, by the way, if you've never seen this, this is called JavaScript. It's object destructuring syntax. It's really useful. So this line here that I have is actually just equivalent to if I wrote out, it'd be basically me doing const actions equals category slice dot actions. So it's a little bit of syntactic sugar just to pull individual like key value pairs out of objects. It's really interesting, and especially too if you're trying to use a lot of the different values. So for example, if you're used to React, this is very helpful because something like, so I'm using functional components, so maybe it's a little less relevant, but something like props, you can do, you can pull your props out by using that destructuring syntax. So yeah, it's pretty nice. Okay. Why did I comment this out? Was that? I'm trying to think about why I commented that out. I didn't do that just now. I think it's fine. I don't think I need that. I mean, it was commented out, so clearly my app is working without it. Okay, so that way, doing that. All right, so everything compiled correctly. So let's see. Are things working? Seemingly so. Oh, okay, so we're gonna need to add categories. So let's open up a Redux dev tools, which are around here somewhere. Here, let me open up my dev tools. Oh, I have it. Okay. The icon is just hidden. Oh, this looks, the view looks so bad. Okay, so with our init, look at our state, it's empty. Cool, so let's go ahead and try and add a category. All right, I'm typing React, that's not what I want. Let's do Minecraft. Okay, our add category call worked. The action was add category with a payload of name and ID. Okay, so this is giving me an error, but it's not actually an error because it would be an error if I was using TypeScript, but I'm not. So, because if we were in TypeScript, when it generates the actions for you, it wants you to define what the payload will look like. Which I don't know why add category has an undefined payload where the remove category is just it's fine that it's a string. Anyways, I don't actually know why that is. Okay, so that refactors, so let's go ahead and commit that. So this commit will refactor some Redux code to use create slice. Okay, so now we see we originally went to this doc page to try and figure out how to link multiple stores into the same object. We got a little distracted because it was like, oh, you can reduce some of the syntax stuff, which I just hadn't done yet. So let me zoom in on this one too, make it a little easier to read. Oh, so I didn't realize this. So we're using Redux Starter Kit. It does a lot of stuff for you, supposedly. This sets up the Redux DevTools extension automatically. That's really nice. It's all the same about Redux. Intermediate tutorial. Redux to-dos. So again, we're gonna have one. We're going to have more than one store, which is what I'm trying to find. We'll update logic, action payloads, tests. Is it combine reducers? Here, let me look at usage guide. A typical store setup here. I don't know, is this what I want? Oh, okay, here we go. This is what we want. You can also pass in an object full of slice reducers. And configure store will call combine reducers for you. That's what we want to do, is we need a reducer combining. Okay, so let's try that. So oh god, what's going on here? So reducer should be an object is by the looks of this. And then this should be category. Do they do plural or multiples? Plural or singular? Sorry, those are the words I'm trying to say. All right, so categories is category slice dot reducer. So I think this actually is, so this by itself is going to work. Oh, and app.js styles is defined whenever used. See, did I actually need that then? I don't know why that styles.js file's on there anyways. And then rehydrate filters is, oh, okay, I'll worry about that later. Okay, so we have the categories here. So this is gonna break, I think. Yeah, so the reason this breaks is because of how our passing of the what are the words I'm trying to say? So before we were basically saying that we're only gonna have one store. So if you like access the store object, everything is just there. But now it's gonna be stores.categories essentially. At least I believe that's what's happening. Props.categories. So how did that get in there again? So the category selector, where is that getting, or sorry, I need to look for find all references. Okay, so in the wrapper, we're connecting it with map state to props map dispatch. So, okay, so connect is with React Redux. So let's go look up how that works because I have totally forgotten. React, oh, here, is it in here? API reference. This is, oh, that's not what I want. React Redux. They have a separate website as well. Okay, so connect is the thing we're using. So this connects a React component to a Redux store. It provides the connected component with the pieces of the data it needs from the store, and then functions, the functions it could use to dispatch action. Oh, so map state to props, I think, is what we're gonna need to change. Oh, yeah. So map state to props, it gives you the entire Redux store, and you get to choose what type of the Redux store you actually want as part of your props. So we have store right here, but now we need store.categories, I believe. So let's see if that works. Yay, okay, that works. So it's not actually working though. Oh, so the other, okay. So what's happening is, so we're correctly adding categories. So if you look at our newest version of the state, our state is gonna have categories and then it's gonna have Minecraft. So that's fine. So it's adding and removing. So remove category works, and then our current state is empty. So that's all working. The part that's not working is that we need to look. I think we have another version of map state to props. Yep. So here in main page wrapper, the reason why what you might notice is that these aren't Minecraft streams, and the reason that is because the other map state to props here is not updated. God, I said that in like the most roundabout way, I feel. Or not roundabout, it just took me a long time to get out with it. Okay, so now that should work. So we're gonna refresh. Now if we switch to Minecraft, it's gonna load things correctly, remove them, load correctly. I still don't know why it does this. It does add category twice. I think it's because when I hit enter, it adds the category. And then when it reloads the page, so whenever it does this, it basically all it's doing is refreshing the page. Or not, not technically refreshing it, but it's rereading the URL as a prop and then doing things based on that. And so I think that's why it's doing add category twice. It doesn't actually matter because the action doesn't do anything. So the reducer, I have it set up to where if it's already an existing category, then it won't push it. That way it won't duplicate it. I kind of want to fix it just because it bothers me, but it's not harming anything basically. Like it's like, you know, functionally it's fine. It just annoys me. Which I guess doesn't really matter, but in any case. Okay, so now that we've got that set up, we're gonna want to go ahead and what's the next thing we're gonna want to do? We're gonna want to go ahead and refactor a little bit. The reason for that is the stores are gonna get, I think, kind of hairy kind of fast. So we're gonna make category.js, and then in category.js we're gonna go ahead and put all of the by all the things I mean just our category slice is gonna go in there. And then we're missing create slice, so let's go ahead and import. Oh god, that's not what I wanted. Importing that from Redux starter kit. Awesome. So we're exporting category slice. We're gonna go ahead and export it as the default. We'll just do a normal named export. Oh, I have a different setup on my Mac there, and so I was confused. So now we need to, from here, we're gonna go ahead and delete. We're gonna delete that. Oh, no, I deleted too much. Oh no. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and delete this. We're gonna go ahead and import category slice from category. Shift Alt O is to organize my imports. Alrighty, so now we have a store and our category stuff is separated out. So we'll go ahead and commit all of that. Move unused, import. Yeah, I need to look into removing that style file. I don't think I'm using it at all. Okay. And then everything else, let me close out of all these tabs. So this is just, this commit will refactor our refactor Redux store to support. We're supporting the format here supports multiple stores or multiple reducers. Okay. Now we are finally ready to add our filters, or sorry, filter. Oh, that's kind of confusing. I should just make them plural. So this should be const filters slice equals create slice. Okay, so, and this is gonna be an object. Okay, so we're going to create a slice. We have our initial state. So I think I haven't really put a lot of thought into how filters are going to work. I've written notes about this that I just don't remember. Of course I haven't. Oh, filter design notes. Okay, so it's going to be an array of objects in the same way categories are. Okay. Thank goodness I wrote notes because I kind of forgot about that. So initially say it's still going to be an array. And then after that, how does this work? I just did this, but I don't remember. Reducers is the next key. What? How do I close the tab? Oh, Control F4? Oh god, that's annoying. We see Control W on my Mac, or Command W on my Mac. It's a lot easier. Okay, so reducers. So what are the reducers? We need to add a filter. So I think this Redux store actually is not going to be complicated at all. It's going to be pretty much the same. I'm gonna keep the categories thing open on the other tab. Okay, so this takes a state and an action, and then it's going to so I think I can actually almost entirely just jack the same logic here, because it's basically gonna be the same. I think we're gonna run into the same issue of the same issue of having like multiple filters added at the same time, and so we're gonna want to go ahead and change that. Rename symbols F2, so this should be existing existing filter. It's gonna be state find, and then this should be filter. Am I gonna have an ID, or is it gonna be a name? So with categories, the names are identical. Oh, this is gonna be a bit harder. Do I have to do like actual comparison? So the type has to be the same. Do we want like more than one type though? Unclear. So if the types are the same, and we'll just say filter.options is equal to action, not payload, not options. I don't know if that's gonna be, oh, that's not what I wanted. I don't know if that's gonna be like correct or is good. I am saving on format, right? I want to be doing that. Format and save, okay. And I want to format and paste as well. Okay. Okay, so yeah, if the filter exists, they have to be, for the filter to for the filter to be the same, the types have to be the same, and the options have to be the same. It's not as easy as categories where they have a specific ID. Perhaps there's a better system for that. We can change that later. And then there's also going to be remove filter, which is going to be state and then action. And this one is going to be as simple as literally this. So we're just filtering out everything that isn't equal to. Oh man, we are gonna have to do comparisons. We're gonna have to give giving the filters IDs seems kind of odd. So if we gave the filters IDs, and what I mean by that is that in here, let me. The indentation on these notes is kind of bad. So in here, if we had an ID, which is we'll say it's a number. So this would be nice because if we had this, removing filters would be really easy because you'd have an array of current filters, and if you remove one, each one has an ID. So I think this isn't a bad idea for that, and I might add it purely just for that reason. However, it still doesn't solve our add filter option because whenever you're adding a filter, you're just describing the type of filter you want. You're not necessarily giving it an ID. I think we generate one. Yeah, let's do that actually. So, so const new filter is going to be an object with an ID, which is going to be a random. Can I generate a random number? Math.random returns a pseudorandom number between 0 and 1. So what do I need to multiply that by? Like 10? Is that, I feel so dumb that I don't actually know that. So if we did math.random, like times 100, I guess this is a decimal. I don't want that. And then I could just math.seal. That's fine. Doesn't actually matter whether we seal or floor it, as long as it turns it into an int. So these are giving like 2-digit. These are giving 2-digit ones. We don't want that then. Pretty like 100,000. This is 5-digit IDs. Oh, I guess it's like filters per. I just don't want it to be. So the filters are going to be like per person, right? So like, and it's going to be like per person in their current instance. Like we don't have a database we're saving this in. So I think it's pretty inconsequential that, what am I trying to say? Like they're probably never going to be like, you know, collisions. But I think having it as having more digits decreases the likeliness of the collision. So we just won't worry about it, you know? Or so, sorry, we just, you know, we won't have to worry about it. Okay, so give the ID, and then after that we can just go ahead and spread action.payload, because that has the rest of the information. And then we can go ahead and push the new filter. And then in here, the category ID is going to be not equal to action.payload, which just is going to be the ID. Now, our app is failing to compile because we are main page wrapper. So we're importing category starts from stores main, but this should be category now. Oh, and before I do that, this is going to be, we're going to rename this to categories. Let's change that again. And then, yeah, category selector wrapper also has this issue. God, closing tabs is so annoying with my keyboard. Can I? File, preferences, keyboard shortcuts. So you can search by what do I normally use? CTRL plus W. Control W is close window. I don't want that. It's also close editor. What does it do in the Vim? Hello? Just same key bindings. I don't know what the Vim one does. We're gonna remove that. Okay. Oh, there we go. There we go. It was the Vim mode that was messing it up. Okay. Okay, category selector wrapper is where this is happening. This should be categories. Oh. I had an extra ES on there. Oh my goodness, I can't type. Okay. So things look fine here. So this is all Minecraft stuff. We can click off. We can add Minecraft. We can add Dota 2. That has both of the people on there. Okay, that looks correct. Let me double check. We can double check our dev tools. Oh, that's where the icon is too. I just noticed. All right, our Redux dev tools, everything looks fine. Our most current state is categories. Oh, no, I didn't want to do that. Categories 0, 1, Dota 2, Minecraft. Nice. Cool. And if we remove, yeah, everything's working fine. We init. Oh, the chart's so cool. I must say that you know, I'm not necessarily sold on the entirety of Redux. but the dev tools are just, oh man, they're so nice. They're actually amazing. I'm very impressed by that. Like that's, it's so easy to see what's going on, and it appears that based on all these buttons down here, there's like more shit that I don't know how to use. Yeah, pretty fucking cool though. All right, so now we need to hook up our, so we've made our filters store. We haven't actually hooked it up to our other store. So we're gonna export the const here. And then if we open main.js in our stores, we have a new reducer for filters, which is filter slice reducer. So this one's actually slight naming difference. So filter slice should be singular. I'm just using the convention they use, so doesn't matter one way or another what you're doing here. Rename that. Okay, so now our filters should also be connected. So they're not doing anything right now. So our init, if we look at our state, we have empty array for filters, empty array for categories. State, yeah, categories, filters. Then we add category. Oh god, this is so cool. If we add a second one. Nice. Oh, nice little chart here. Cool. Okay, so I think we can go ahead and commit that. That's a file rename, adding a filters. We're adding that into the main Redux, and then we're refactoring all that. This should be a separate commit, actually. Okay. Refactor category store to be a plural file name. Very important changes going on here. Okay, and then this is add filter store. Okay, cool. Should probably remove this unused variable. What is rehydrate filters? It's in browser. Function rehydrate filters. Oh, it's because I was gonna like make them super encoded. Oh, that's right, because they have to go in the URL. That's kind of unfortunate. All right, I forgot about that. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and get rid of our categories. So now that the store is hooked up, we just need to start adding stuff to it. We need to make some shitty UI. All right, so we're gonna make a filter selector wrapper. So this is gonna be pretty similar to our category selector wrapper. Oh, excuse me, at least for right now. So like with that in mind, we're just gonna go ahead and like copy and paste the whole thing. Does that ink the whole line or just the, okay, it's just the whole line. Yanked bottom of file, okay. So then we just need to rename all of this. So this should be filter slice from stores filters. Map state to props, so we only need to know about the filters here. So filters are coming from store, store.filters. This should be from filter slice. Our two actions we have are, we're actually gonna do action, hold on. So it should be actions dot add filter. and actions dot remove filter, and I believe that's correct. Add filter, remove filter. Yep. Why is that yelling at me? That seems weird. Yo, Skyshifter, thank you so much for the follow. Welcome to the stream. Yo, Coachin, thank you so much for the 12-month resubscription. I appreciate it, dude. Wait, didn't you subscribe last stream? What's going on here? It says you subscribed for 12 months with Prime 17 days ago. Whack shit. I don't know what's going on. In any case, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. That's the perfect segue into me mentioning it is almost it's almost the end of September. I immediately haven't streamed as much as I need to, but we are doing a little bit of a sub incentive because subs were half off. Are they still half off? I don't remember what date it goes until. If we do get to 25 subs or 25 sub points, not only is everyone going to get a new emote for all tier 1 subscribers, we're also going to be playing Man of Medan with Coachin, actually, who just resubscribed, which is a like choice-based horror game. So we played Until Dawn on this channel, which is made by the same developers. It was really fun. So this is a similar thing. So yeah, if that interests you at all, or you want some cool emotes, yeah, consider subscribing. Helps the channel. Super cool. I don't get very sellouty very often, so it's the only time I'm really doing it. And also too, if you have a Twitch Prime account, you do get a subscription for free. So if you decide also to use that here on this channel, that would be I'd really appreciate that. But obviously not obligated by any means. Okay, what is going on with my TS server and why is it yelling? Oh, does it not? Oh, okay. That's why. It's because I'm trying to use syntax shortcuts, and if I want to do that, then I have to do them in a particular way. I just don't know why I was blanking on that. Oh. Oh, sorry, this should be equals actions. Okay. Or equals actions. Okay. And then we're connecting. This is not a category selector wrapper. This is going to be a filter selector wrapper. Give me filter selector, which we haven't built yet. Okay, so let's go ahead and build our filter selector now. So this wrapper is going to attach it to the Redux store, so it'll be able to access our information. Yeah. So yeah, that's telling me because that doesn't exist right now. Oh, that's kind of confusingly named. So filter selector.js is going to export default const. Oh, I did that wrong anyways. Oh man. Okay, export default filter selector. Should have an arrow. Then I'm going to need to we need to import import React from React, as this is going to be a React component. This is going to be props. Okay. All right, so our filters bar is going to have a filter, filter, selector, wrapper, and then it gets props here. I wonder, did I set these up to have flex already, or are they just gonna look shitty? We're gonna go ahead and just have this return null, or return a div that just says filters for now. Just make sure this exists. Oh, I did not put flex. Oh no. Okay, so we're gonna make a flex box on here so that it splits them both evenly. I might have already. I didn't set that up at all, did I? So I'm gonna get rid of the name filters bar. I actually don't like that. We're gonna change all occurrences, which is control F2. We're gonna name it options bar. Oh god, what did I do? Control F2. Oh, it's also getting the class name. I guess that works. So this should be options bar. That should be cap. Oh, that's not what I want. I'm pressing all the wrong keyboard shortcuts right now. Oh, that's fine. Okay. We got it. I'm trying to get to the tilde and I have a 60% keyboard, so like, so I have no, so my stuff's on my escape key, but I have to do, so I have caps lock as control, so I have to do, or control doesn't help me here. This is my FN key, so I have to do FN shift escape. But I was doing like FN shift control and escape at the same time, which like makes some whack shit happen. It's not at all what I wanted. Like I said, my keyboard at work is also small, but it's like a different layout, so I'm used to it, and so I'm used to coding on it at least, and coding on a Mac. They're like a double whammy of things I'm not used to right now. So it feels real weird to try and do things on this computer. Like I'm so used to all my Mac keyboard shortcuts, and it feels very strange to transition back. Oh, okay. Oh. Bum, bum, bum. Okay, so yeah, we have it as display flex here. It's just that the are the wrappers implementing that? They're just connecting, so they're not going to do anything. So we'll go ahead and, this is the options bar. We're going to go ahead and rename this to be the filters bar is getting included somewhere, probably in browser.js. Oh, just kidding. It's going to be an app, it looks like. Not navbar. Where is this getting included? Filters bar. Yeah, here. It's oh, main page.js. So this should be control F2. Is change all occurrences. Going to make this options bar. Okay, that seems to have worked. Oh. Okay. What are we doing next? Oh, we need to make these flex. That's what we need to do. I can actually probably just put the style. I can't throw it on there exactly, I don't think. So I need to do, so like on filter selector, oh sorry, not filter selector, category selector, which we already have written as long as we're doing this. So on this div that's wrapping it, it should just be, we'll formalize a class name for it, I guess, in case this bar gets more crowded. So this is going to be an option. I don't remember if I'm camel casing these or Pascal casing them. So option bar item, and then do I have the one CSS file? I think I do. So this filters bar should be options bar now. Oh, it already has display flex on it actually. So this style here, we can get rid of this inline style. It's probably why I wrote the class. And it's got the margins. And then we're gonna have options bar item. Options bar item, I think is what I call that. We're gonna give each of these things a flex 1 because I don't need to do anything crazy with them. And then I think we want to do, I think align content should be, or sorry, it should be align items. Should be, or not align. What is it? Is it justify? I know what I want. I just don't remember what it's called. Justify items. I need to go look up flex stuff now. It's called space between. Oh, I can't type. Is it justify content space between? Justify content space between. So this will make it to where it'll push the two to the edge and it'll put space in between them whenever it renders. So if I save all this, there is a shortcut for saving all files, right? I don't know what that is. I don't know if there's a Vim one for it. So if we do that, did it work? The answer is no. Hello? Oh, it's because I applied it to this one, option bar item here. So it has option bar item. Oh, did that not actually work? Oh, it says flex item. Oh, it's a flex item by default. I did spell that correctly, right? Oh, option bar item. I did singular. That's not correct then. It should be. Oh no, that's fine. That's fine. Yeah, it should be singular. And then if we do filter selector, this should also be class name option bar item. So that should look the same, I think. Oh, there we go. Nice. So now if we inspect this, they're both taking up equal parts of the screen. Yeah, cool. All right, so we need to implement this. So, am I logged into my Figma account? Here, give me 1 second. I don't want to sign up. Thanks, though. So I don't remember if there's like any like personal email things I care about here. All right, so this is my little mock-up I have of this stuff. It's not anything super crazy. So filters are actually gonna have their own drop-down box eventually. So it's gonna look pretty similar to like, we're still gonna have these like little, I call these badges, but I don't know if that's like the correct UI term for them, but we're gonna have those little things in the same way that we do have categories. But when you click on this little filters button, the plan is just to pop down a little dialog that looks like this, except for it's actually gonna look good. I don't think I actually mocked this up to look decent, but yeah. Yeah, I don't actually know how to do little dialogues like this, so that'll be fun. So we can go ahead and start implementing that. Okay, so let's go ahead and make it look like kind of similar. Could probably also implement current filters. So this is gonna be, again, pretty similar to our category selector at the start of this sort of thing. So this isn't going to be a category row. We don't have a categories props. We have props dot filters. And then this is going to be per filter. We're going to have a div. Class name is going to be active filter, I think is what we're going to call this. What is on remove? Oh, isn't on remove? Oh, on remove is how I'm handling things. I have an on remove and an on submit. Okay. So we're gonna need to add those here as well. So on submit is going to be a thing. We're gonna go and make both of these do nothing right now. I've listened to this lo-fi song so many times. Spotify makes you these playlists that it's like basically like, oh, these are your songs on repeat, and I was like, oh, cool, I'm super excited to listen to this. I was listening to it the other day when I just like didn't want to think about what music to play, and the only problem is that because I listen to like this lo-fi playlist a lot, and there are so many songs that are like really popular in all of the lo-fi playlists. It was like, oh, like here's your top repeated songs, and it's like a bunch of lo-fi songs. And it's like mixed in with like other music that I like listen to. It's just like not lo-fi. So it was really weird. So I kind of ruined my own auto-generated playlist because it was just nothing but lo-fi. Or it was like, I was like, oh yeah, cool, song I want to listen to. And then it like switched to lo-fi and I'm like, I don't want this. Oh God. God, what did I do for this? This is like kind of complicated. On category remove is coming from props. What? I have remove category as an action. What? What am I doing here? Okay, is the category selector wrapper like... Oh, is my... Okay, my options bar is getting called here. With all the props from the main page. Oh my God, this is so disgusting. Import main page. It's got a wrapper. Oh no. This is like the worst prop drilling of all time. Are you fucking kidding me? Holy shit, where am I using on category add? Why am I prop drilling this hard? What? Okay, I'm using them in... Okay, that makes sense. Oh, and I passed them down so far, though. Oh, God, that's really not good. Oh, no. That's so confusing. That's like the whole point of like not... It's like the whole point of having something like Redux is so I don't do shit like that. Like, what? What am I doing here? Oh, man. Past Reno. What kind of code are you writing? How do I save all my stuff? Control KS. Oh, that doesn't work. Sorry, that's like a Vim thing. Is there a save all? Sorry, I just wanna... oh, that's not what I want. Keyboard shortcuts is what I want. Preferences, keyboard shortcuts, save all. Is there not a Vim thing for it? That's... Save all open buffers at once. Is it WA? Nice, that worked. Okay, it's WA. Okay, so... Oh, sorry, I'm trying to like digest like what the hell my past me did in terms of all this prop drilling. What even, man? I guess it's like what I'm doing is not redefining these things, but that's not the right way to do that, man. Okay, so let's look at our main page wrapper because that's what's like that's where shit's going wrong here. So our main page wrapper, we're writing functions that dispatch actions, okay? So the real question is that why are we doing this and why are we not just using the dispatch function? Like we should just be doing this separately. That doesn't make sense to me. Like, what's the better way to do this, though? Because there are some things that... Because this doesn't make sense, right? Because, like, so there's a few things wrong here, is that we're passing down categories everywhere. But we don't need to do that. Like, okay, so, like, one example of this that it doesn't make sense is that we're passing the categories down to the browser, which I don't think we need at all. Like, I think the browser just... Oh, no, it renders categories and filters. Oh, because it's getting the streams. Okay. Oh, that's so shitty. It's so confusing. I don't know if I have a better option, though. Okay, so I guess for the filters, we can handle this a little differently, where... So the filter selector wrapper, we can map dispatch to props. Wait, yeah, what? Hold on. Map dispatch to props we're doing in a few places. So we're doing it here in the category selector wrapper. We're saying we're mapping add category and remove category to props. Those are our actions, okay? So are we using them in the category selector is the question. Add category, remove category. Oh shit, what did I do? Add category. So we're not using them. So I'm gonna console log them to see, I wanna see what that actually means in terms of what's going on there. So this is the add category action. I think it's an action, or is it? See this, yeah, this is my lack of Redux knowledge really is killing me right now. Okay, so we're gonna need to console log the props first. And the reason for that is because I don't actually know what key this is under. Filter selector.js is having a ton of issues. Oh, because I was like in the middle of writing it. Duh. So we're just gonna go ahead and so none of this is gonna work right now. So we're gonna comment all of it out, and then just return div nice. This is just for now, so I can understand how things are working. Okay. Oh, that was the wrong keyboard shortcut. Okay. Control Shift I. Oh my God, Kriparian still streams? Hell yeah, dude. I know he still streamed. Okay, so our console here. Okay, so these are our props. So here, let me. So these are these custom functions I've written. What does add category do? Add category binds an action creator. So if we run add category, what happens? Or sorry. So props.add category. Add category action is bind action creator. Okay. So let's see if I call. Let's call a props add category. Let's say Minecraft. Or name is going to be Minecraft. ID is going to be. I don't actually remember what the ID is. Before we save, we'll go ahead and type this so I can get the actual category so it'll actually work. All right, so this is gonna run the function. Does it work? Oh, okay, so I'm so dumb. I'm so dumb here. So I've been passing down this function that I made, but I don't need to do that. I'm giving the function, so let me test this to make sure this works. Oh yeah, this is gonna be all sorts of fucky because I have that in there. So what's gonna happen here is that anywhere we're using on category remove, we just do sorry, hold on. So on remove takes a prop called on category remove. Instead of giving it on category remove, we're gonna give it remove category. That's actually going to be in it's just one of the props, right? Yeah, I just did prop to add a category. Yeah. So it's going to be just remove category, and then we're going to do remove category. Oh, nope. Oh, so we have to do. Oh, here, I'll rename the param as well. Remove category. Doing a little bit of refactoring here, but I was severely misunderstanding how Redux was working here. Okay, so this should work fine still. So everything should work as expected. So if we go ahead and add Minecraft as a category, it's gonna show up. If I click on it, it gets rid of it. Oh my God, I'm so dumb, dude. So what I wrote in the main page wrapper, this was really unnecessary. So we have actions category slice. We don't need all of this. All we have to do is do so const add category, remove category. So I was essentially just doing some extra code that I was writing some extra code that I just didn't need to write. This is going to be from actions, and then oh, actually, I don't even need to do this. I can make this even a little bit simpler. So we return, we have an object and we do actions, I think. Oh, we just return actions, I think. Let's see if that works. I think that should work. Okay, so if we do Minecraft, oh no, this is gonna work. Okay, so everywhere we do on category add, that should be replaced with add category. And then on category remove, right? Oh, I'm only using that one place, so that should be remove category. Okay, because the other instance was, yeah, I didn't even need to replace that instance, but yeah. Okay, so this should reload. Oh, this went all the way to the bottom, which is not what I wanted it to do. Okay, so now everything should work fine. Oh, just kidding, everything's breaking. So instead of returning action, so let me do what's worked previously, which is const add category remove category equal actions, and then return that should be actions. Okay, so this I think should work. Let me make sure. On submit is assigned a value but never. What? Oh, that's yelling at my filter selector. It's because I haven't implemented that. Okay. All right, so I think all this should work. What? Shit's broken. Okay, I'll tell you what, I'm gonna go to the bathroom real quick, and then I'm going to take a second. I think I just need to go through and make sure I refactored everything correctly because I must have mucked something up. Yeah, so thank you all for bearing with. If you are enjoying the stream and liking what you see, please consider dropping a follow. You'll get notifications whenever I go live, as well as it really does help support the channel. Helps us get that growth, baby. Yeah. So yeah, I'll be right back. Thanks everyone for hanging out. Feel free to drop questions in the chat as well if you have them, and I'll answer them when I get back. Okay, I've returned. Oh goodness. Okay. Let's see how I messed up this refactor. Let's see how I messed up this refactor. Okay. So the problem is now is that my categories, although they're being added, are not actually doing anything. So what did I change here? So let's go down the line. So I changed in main page wrapper. We changed how we're mapping our dispatch to our props. So the problem is likely occurring in main page. And if we go to props, we have add category. Oh, I think I know what's happening. So the difference between what I was doing before is that add category takes like the name and the ID because that's how I defined it. Or sorry, on category add I think is what I needed before. However, add category purely just takes a payload. So whether this is for better or for worse in terms of what, you know, looks better, that's the difference. So there's remove. So anywhere we're using add category, which in category selector is the other place we're gonna use it. Oh no, it's not because we're just adding it to the URL. Okay, weird. Anyways, I think that's not enough to fix it. Let's look at our dev tools. We're not actually calling any actions. Oh, interesting, interesting, interesting. So if we go to our main page, if we call here, so we do add category, which is a function, we have a payload. Oh, actually, we just need to, sorry. Will this change it? We'll delete that function call. It doesn't look like it does. Let's check our, yeah, nothing's happening here. So let's make sure we're doing this correctly. So add category. We have a payload here. The ID is, do I saw that ID pasted? Nice. And then the name is Minecraft. Oh. Okay, so this should add our this should add the category by default. Is that actually happening? No. No is the answer. So let's go ahead and check out the Redux docs as to why that's not working. Oh, that's not what I wanted, friend. Okay, so we want Redux starter kit. We're looking for create slice. So we want to see how we're using a slice. So the user slice, we use user.reducer. Counter also creates a slice. So we still need to dispatch actions. So perhaps how I was doing it wasn't a bad way after all. Maybe I'm misunderstanding how things work, truly. Okay, so let's go back to our main page wrapper. Yeah. So this is the correct way to do it, I think. Yeah, so I was definitely misunderstanding. So main page wrapper. So on category add, should we name ID? We're dispatching. Sorry. So yeah, this is correct actually. And the reason this was working is because my other map dispatch to props are actually incorrect. If we go look at them, the reason, so if our category selector right here, if you notice, our map dispatch to props here is just not, it's not correct at all. Or is it? So that's in React Redux. So dispatching actions is map dispatch to props. Okay. Two forms of map dispatch: function form and object shorthand. Okay, so what's the object shorthand? I guess that's what I'm trying to. So this is what I'm doing. We have a function that gives us the dispatch object. Dispatch object. I can't say that very fast. We call dispatch with a payload. Or sorry, we call dispatch with an action, which is what I'm doing, I think. If we look at our main page wrapper, we're dispatching actions. Yeah, we're dispatching an action. What's going on? Is that in Sipdolite? I probably just butchered that horribly. Welcome to the stream. Try to slowly learn JS. Oh, nice, exciting. It's a fun language to learn just because of so much of you know what you can do with it. There's so much. So I'm by no means a JS expert, but feel free if you have any questions to please ask. So I'm using the actions to add category. So we're dispatching an action. Okay, so that makes sense. So we're using this function one. We like we want to forward arguments to your action creators. Oh, this is implicitly forwarding arguments. Oh, interesting. Okay, well, let's look at if your map dispatch to props, this function is declared as taking 2 parameters. It will be called a dispatch as the first parameter, and props past the connected to component is the second. Oh, interesting. So you can give it, oh, okay, I don't think I need that. It should return a plain object. This field is a separate prop for a component. If you use action creators, it's supposed to plain object actions. So I should rename them at the very least. Inside light. Insipid light. I can't speak today. I'm so sorry. Thank you so much for the follow. You're learning Python only in uni. Oh, okay. I still think Python's a good language to start with too, I think. Also, I've done, not in a long time, I guess, but you can also do a lot of cool stuff with Python, so. But some of the first websites I made that I was like actually proud of were using Flask, which is like a super tiny little HTTP service in Python. It's not like, I probably wouldn't like it as much now because I'm pretty partial to React because I like React, but yeah. It's not enough though? Not enough for what? In what way? Like for something specific that you're trying to learn, or out of curiosity? Okay, that makes sense. Bind action creators. What does this return? Oh, so this is a nice shorthand. Where this becomes powerful. So the only issue here is this takes the args and spreads them, excuse me. The problem is this takes an object, so I'd have to make this take an object. Which isn't not the worst thing ever, actually. Ripper Miki, what's going on? Welcome to the stream. Python, Java, or JavaScript in 2019. I mean, it depends on what you're doing. I think JavaScript feels like it's very popular right now. And I think, you know, depending on what part of JavaScript you focus on, right? Like, if you're talking in terms of like looking to get a job, then like I'd say probably JavaScript. Although I say that, you know, I'm sure there are some cases with Python or Java that are not being covered by JavaScript that might be more useful. Also depends on what you're doing, for example, right? Like if you're doing more like data analytics stuff, I would imagine that Python is way more used in that field, more so than JavaScript. But if you're picking one of those two as like a general purpose, like good thing to know, I'd say probably JS. You're saying it's not enough, for like what you're trying to do and to get a job. Okay, that's fair. Yeah, I suppose it's like easier to get JavaScript jobs because there are so many of them. Whether it's like you're looking for React jobs, there's a bajillion of those. I think there's a fair amount of Angular jobs out there as well. More and more people are writing their backends in Node. So I did some research on most Google dev tutorials and saw a report from Indeed.com. Those were the top 3 in both. Interesting. Okay. My school is teaching assembly in C, I think. IDK about that. They might be. So I took, when I was in college, I also went to college for computer science, or I assume that's what you're going to school for. we took two computer engineering classes as like a requirement for our major, and the second one we learned about the 8051 microcontroller, which is like a pretty popular one for like learning, and that we did assembly in C. You're not going to learn it in terms of like, you know, you're not going to like go out into the real world and you know, do things with assembly in C. In computer science, mostly, maybe computer engineering. But yeah, we did it as part of the computer engineering class. And I didn't like it at the time, but I actually did a stream. My last stream I did, oh, it's really far, so I can't go get it. I got like a starter like Arduino kit, so I'm actually like messing around with hardware now. So yeah, now I'm finding more of an interest in it, but. What's going on, Jabber J? Welcome to the stream. Is it possible to get a good full stack job without a degree? Yes. I know a few people who don't have computer science degrees and have jobs. One of my coworkers actually does not have a computer science degree. Or I think a degree at all. Well, she might have a degree, I'm not sure. Anyways, yeah, I know a few people who either through boot camps or other methods are able to do it. It's not necessarily easier, right? Like there's a certain level of like, if someone sees you have a 4-year degree, obviously you still have to like prove you can code and that sort of thing. But it's a little bit easier just to be like, oh, I have a college degree. Whereas if you went to boot camp, you probably, I can't speak from experience because I do have a college degree. So I've never like gone into an interview like with, you know, only boot camp experience, for example. But yeah, I imagine it might be a little harder, but I think a lot of people are starting to realize that like, there is value in those, you know, those sorts of candidates. So I went to boot camp last year. Oh, awesome. Yeah. Okay. So Ripper has direct experience. I do not. But yeah. Yeah, I think it's getting more and more though that people are starting to see that like, as long as you're able to, you know, don't get me wrong, there are certain skills that college does, I think, give you, but if you're able to program well, it, you know, because once you get into the job and start doing well, that like, you know, the degree doesn't matter as much, I guess. You're learning a lot of things on the fly, so. Okay, so I need to decide how I want to do this. This bind action creators function looks pretty nice. I'm wondering, okay, yeah, I think, yeah, so bind action creators looks pretty nice. I think I could use that. That seems good. Again, the only thing I have to change is make sure my functions here take, so this one specifically needs to take an object now. We can go ahead and try this though. So we do const map dispatch to prompts is equal to, oh, wait a second, what? Bind action creator turns an object, okay. Oh, okay, here's what I'm looking for. Okay, yeah, so map dispatch to props, which is going to be a thing with dispatch as our only function. And then we're returning bind action creators. Which, hold on. Oh, okay, it's not even gonna yell at me about anything else until I take care of this. This is not, oh god, what is it? What is that auto import? Oh no. From Redux. Jeez. Really mucked up that import. Holy hell. Okay. Holy wow. So many messages. I'm at a point where I feel like I'm not getting enough out of school. Didn't work hard enough in high school and the program isn't that great. Oh, okay, gotcha. Yeah, I also did not work very hard in high school because like high school for me was very easy. And And while I thought that was a good thing in high school, it was terrible in college because like college was actually kind of hard. And I had like no study skills. But yeah, you know, I would just make sure that, and you're doing this, obviously, I would make sure, you know, like, educate yourself on the decision. You know, yeah, just make sure you're making, like, an informed decision about, like, if you do decide to, you know, leave college and go to, like, a boot camp or something. You know, yeah, just make sure you're, you know, thinking about it. But I totally get that. My school doesn't even teach Git, apparently. Yeah, mine didn't either for a long time. As I was leaving, there was like a group of basically grad students in our computer science department who were like were a great group who were trying to basically modernize some of the education. So part of that was that we used to use our freshman year, whenever we'd submit coding assignments, we used this command line tool called CS Submit, and it was this like, you know, to us freshman computer science people, it was like this fucking magical tool that we had no idea how it worked. And it just like shipped off your code somewhere. And like, you know, I don't think it was a super complicated script looking back, but like, you just didn't know what the hell happened. They were switching it to where all the freshmen were using, I don't know if for that class specifically, but for a lot of classes, they were being forced to use Git repositories in order to teach it. Because, I mean, like, knowing at least one version control system, you know, Git's obviously the most popular, but it's such an important skill. It can be very complicated, but if you have like the right person teaching it to you, it's really good. Also, you know, it helps too that like so many, like VS Code, for example, has a really good Git GUI, which I use like more than the command line nowadays. But I still think there's value in like understanding how it works on the command line. Yeah. Ripper McGee, yes, I am I'm a full stack developer, but yeah, the front end of our product is in React. But yeah, I do everything all over the place. I'm waiting to see if the GIS program here is any good. Is that like geospatial stuff? Yeah, I'm very thankful. We had a really good, the same group of grad students who were like trying to basically modernize our department's education, had this class that I took and then ended up TAing my senior year, or I don't know if that might have been my junior year. It was basically like tools for computer scientists, and it was like a lab class, so it was like only 1 credit hour, but it was really cool because it was like teaching you everything you're probably going to need to know like in industry, but that you didn't get taught. So we learned Git, we learned more about like debuggers, like different IDEs. I got exposed to like a bunch of different libraries. I did like a lesson on LaTeX. Just a bunch of like a ton of different things. So it's basically like we're gonna lightly introduce you to a ton of things that you need to know. And that class I think is like a permanent fixture now, which thank goodness, it was so helpful. And like I said, I TA'd it, and I thought it was, even doing it, you know, for 2 semesters afterwards, I thought it was very good. So yeah, so I think some CS departments are like getting their shit together and being like, wow, people need to know these things. But for so many students, it hits a certain point where you just like have to learn it yourself anyways. So I think once you get the important part too, and perhaps Jabber, this might be like good advice for you. You know, I would, and obviously it can be a little hard, but you don't have a lot of experience. Try your hardest to get into some sort of like internship or some sort of job opportunity where you're doing CS stuff. I didn't get my first internship until my like last summer of school. So like when I was a junior going into be a senior, and it just, you learn so much when you're like working full-time for 3 months. Like it's insane. Like you think you learn a lot in school and then you go work at like an actual company and like it's actually crazy how much like you thought you knew, and you're like, wow, none of this applies in the real world. But that to me was huge, and I had kind of a shitty GPA my first few years of college because I liked it, like I said, I didn't have any study skills. So I wasn't able to like get an internship opportunity early, but if you can get that early, like I think you'll be set. I had a friend of mine who interned, it didn't intern his freshman and sophomore year. Like it felt like when you talk to him, you're like, this guy knows so much, but it's just because like, you know, he had real world experience for 2 years or 2 summers. Just sell your soul to management, or do that. If you're not confident in your coding, just, you know, go manage coders. You don't need to know how to code. You just need to know what they're talking about somewhat. You're gonna have contributions. Mine are really impressive because I include, there's a GitHub setting to include like contributions to private repositories on there. So like, that's just for me working every day. It's 40 hours a week of contributions. So I'm cheating a little bit because that's like all for my job. I don't code that much outside of work. Yeah, it beefs up my profile though without, because like, you know, our repository is private, but like, it makes me look really good. I kind of forgot that that's the case. What does it even look like nowadays? I actually don't remember. Oh, sorry, I can't scroll down all the way. I actually have like private info down there. It's not actually a big deal if anyone sees it, but dang, yeah. This is a full-time contribution graph. It's just having a full-time job. Yeah. The rest of my repositories are really not impressive. I need to like remove some of this shit. Like, oh my lord. This is a really shitty algorithm project that we did sophomore year that like my friend just did all of the work for. I didn't do shit for that project. Whoops. Yeah, absolutely, Jabberjay. I feel like I'm happy to like give back because there were a lot of things that I wish I knew while I was in college. And it's good to like, you know, inform people as they're going through it. So I wish I watched programming streams when I was in school. That would have been so smart. Okay, I haven't actually done any work in like 5 minutes, so I should actually do something. Okay. All right, we're binding action creators. That's what we're doing. Wait, how in the fuck does this work? This should be an object, right? And then you pass a dispatch? What is this black magic function, dude? How often do I stream? My schedule is I stream every Sunday. I'm actually gonna be out of town this weekend, which is kind of why I'm streaming tonight. I admittedly am not as good as about being consistent as I should be. But yeah, it's the actual schedule is I definitely stream on Sunday and then sometimes stream other days. There are just a lot of days where I come home and because I coded all day, I don't feel like coming home and coding more. So, yeah. But lately I've been like, over the past week, I've been feeling pretty motivated about things. This also helps too. I've been going, I rock climb. I'm not very good, but I've been going to the gym and I've been working out, and then I come home from that and I'm like, fuck yeah, I'm ready to do things. So that's been helping a little bit, but like today I didn't work out and I was like, it was like about to be 8 and I was about to start streaming and I was like, oh god, I don't want to do anything. So that's why I had coffee. So I had coffee and it's like 10 o'clock, so RIP me. Okay. Yeah, like, it has no way to know where add category is from. Oh, those are the actions. You utter dumbass. Okay, so then, const. So we're giving it our actions. Equals actions. Actions, okay. Okay, so I think that's correct. So then that means it should give add category to us in the props. And then I have to pass an object. Excuse me. Okay, so I actually think that might work. Oh, it did. Okay, the badge is wrong. I'll fix that. So here, if I refresh. Oh no, it didn't work because that's not getting removed. Oh, never mind. Sorry, I put a, I'm a dumbass. That's because I put a line in there to manually add that. Okay. Now we have Minecraft. That works. Let's make sure the Redux. Yeah. Let's add a second one. What is that picture? Oh, what is going on in that picture? Is this some meme Dota 2 streamer? Oh my lord. That's hilarious. Also, do they not have a title, or did I fuck up? Oh, they actually don't have a title. Okay, I got concerned. Oh, what's the current project I'm working on? So this is a Twitch stream browser. So the reason I'm making this, and if you type, I don't remember. Nope. Project. Chatbot? Oh shit, my chatbot's not working. Okay, well hold on. I'll just dump the thing for you. Sorry, I didn't realize my chatbot wasn't working until just now. So this document sort of goes over why I'm making it, but it's a, oh, sorry, that's also on my main screen. It's a Twitch stream browser that's gonna have like filters and stuff. Yeah, I sort of outline why I'm doing that in that document. But it's basically because I want some more features, basically some more filters. So right now it is, you know, the progress is not good because I need, all it does right now is I can sort by categories. So now it's kind of nice because like if you're looking for streams for multiple games, which is kind of useful. So if you're like really into, if you want to watch both Dota 2 and League of Legends streams, because that's what you're into, you can get both in the same thing and it'll show all of them together. But so today what we're doing actually is building the base filters feature. So the first one we're gonna do is try and do a viewer count filter. But yeah, I think I don't remember how the Notion thing works, sharing it. It talks about basically the filters. So yeah, the main one that I'm the most excited about is whitelisting and blacklisting users. You can sort by view count and then excluding tags. The user whitelist is probably the one that I am the most building this for. And this is like my shitty mock-up of what it's gonna look like. Yeah. So I will, once I get this done, hopefully the filter system will be enough where I can just like add filters pretty easily. So if I think of other ones, I can add it. But yeah, like I said, I explained that in the document, but it's like a very selfish reason because I have like a very specific use case of why I want to use this. So I'm building it for that reason. Is this showing Dota streams? Oh, yeah. Okay. The League streams are just higher view count. Okay. That's why I was confused. Okay, so everything's working again. I need to make sure, so add category is working, so I need to make sure, oh, remove category is working. I just tried it. So now the issue is I'm still prop drilling really hard. So these dispatch things, add category, remove category actions are coming all the way from the main page. And while I am using them on the main page, I'm using the add category here. I'm not using the remove category until way below. So like when I'm wrapping this, like we don't need to do this. It's just adding unnecessary props. So we're gonna go ahead and delete this because I refactored it. Yeah, and I will want to say too that like I don't know Redux very well, so like a lot of this is me learning Redux. I sort of did that on purpose so that I can, you know, actually learn how to use it. Is Django a fairly in-demand framework, or is it better to pick up something JavaScript based? I don't know a lot of Django jobs. I'm sure they're there though. I've never learned Django myself. A friend of mine in college used it a lot, and I know he really liked it. Yeah, I would say if you're looking for like one so React isn't a framework, it's a library, but like if you're like looking for like that only one thing to learn right now, I would probably recommend React just because it's like so freaking popular in the front end world. Also, I really like it and I think it's good, but in terms of like if you put that in, if you can put React on your resume, it's like a pretty good thing, I feel. Where it might be a little more applicable than Django, I guess, but proper language sorting is something Twitch doesn't have. Interesting. Can you not filter by language? I could have sworn you could. But I've never also tried to do that because I only speak English. So like, oh, that's not what I want. Like I can filter by, oh. I totally thought, wait, can you? Oh, filter by English. Okay, okay, so it's here? Like if I typed in Russian? So this works. Oh, sometimes bilingual streams don't show up. Okay, okay. Is there a Russian and English? Like, I don't know of a good, sorry, let me browse through real quick and see if there's like a multilingual so I can test that. That's interesting. Or I know there's like a few select people I follow that string and bilingual. Oh, actually, I think Redacted does. Oh, he's only doing English here. So he also speaks Korean, and I know he's put Korean on his thing before. Interesting. Okay. I'll take your word for it because I can't test that. Unless he also speaks Serbian, but I don't think he streams in Serbian. Yeah, just English. Okay, okay. And interesting, interesting. Yeah, so so Redacted SH specifically, I know I'm like almost positive he's put it in the tags. Cause he definitely like, he talks about. Okay, sorry, I thought he did. I've definitely like heard him speak, he definitely speaks Korean. Interesting. Oh, I can't watch this. So this is the game that I'm agreeing to play for the September goal. If we hit that, so I can't watch it. I don't want to spoil myself. Anyways, I don't know. Interesting. Okay, that's good to know. Let me make a note of that for later. Language sorting, looking. Okay. That's good to know. What am I using for prototyping? This is Figma. It is browser-based, but you can also get a desktop app. It's just my desktop app to sign into my work account for it. It's a really neat tool. If you've ever used Sketch before on the Mac, it's like very similar in terms of feature parity, except for it's free to use for like the base plan at least. I don't pay for it personally. We pay for it at work, but it's kind of to be expected for a business account. But yeah, it's a really cool tool. I used to use Sketch on my Mac, and like my Mac's over here, but like this is nice because if I, you know, want to do stuff on my Windows as well, it's nice to be able to switch between the two. So yeah, if you're looking for like a pretty simple prototyping tool, it does the job. It also does like, it has like some presentation mode. This is not what I was thinking of. Oh God. You can do, it has like fancy animated prototyping shit that I don't know how to use. I've literally only used it to like make the UIs, not like connect them and stuff. But I think it does some of that as well. Oh, prototype. Yeah, it has like connections and stuff, so you can like connect the screens together or whatever. Again, I don't have experience with that, but I know it does that. Okay, so we're gonna remove the add category. So what's gonna happen here, actually, because I'm not doing anything, is that removing categories is actually not gonna work now. What? It still works? What the fuck? Never mind. I stand corrected. I saved this, right? What? Okay. Yeah, where is remove category? How is that still? I expected that to break. Remove category. We want the full word. Okay, so now how is, so this is from category selector. So category selector wrapper. Oh. Wait, that just works? Oh, I'm so fucking confused. Okay, hold on. So if we just return an object instead of a function and say add category, will that work? Oh God, can't type. You're telling me that just works? Oh man. Oh, Redux. Jesus Christ. Okay, so that just works. So instead of a function, you just return an object with your actions and it just does it for you. Oh, that's way simpler. I'm so dumb. Anyways. Does Go see much use in professional web development? I started picking up a year ago for simple web servers. Yeah, I think it's used a lot in the back end. Yeah, Dropbox, I think, uses it very heavily. Yeah, I personally don't use it. I've seen it, yeah, in the context of back end stuff. An interesting resource that you might find helpful. So if you've ever listened to the changelog on changelog.com is a really good, they have quite a few podcasts as well as the Slack community. And I really like their podcasts. Most notably, they have JS Party is probably the one I listen to the most. That one's really good. They have a podcast called Go Time. So I'll link that here. They have a bunch of episodes. I haven't really listened to them. There's 100 of them. So there's a lot of, oh, they just did an interview with the creators of Go. So that's pretty cool. But yeah, there's a bunch of episodes. It's all a Go focused podcast. They also did this Go Time 92 is specifically web development in Go. So yeah, that might be cool. So check some of those out. Oh, DigitalOcean is mostly Go. Oh, neat. Go is a language I've been meaning to learn, but have not yet. My next language I think I'm actually going to sit down and learn, and I probably will do it sooner rather than later, and even potentially on stream, is something called Elm. So if you've never seen Elm before, Elm is really cool. So Elm is it's a functional language, but what it does is it compiles to HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. So it compiles to websites. So it's really cool. But the thing is that Go promises no runtime errors. So because it's functional and it's strongly typed, anything that could go wrong in your app, it can detect at compile time. And so it like goes over all of this, and it's really small. And yeah, it's literally Java. It literally compiles into JavaScript. So like this entire website is written in, the Elm website is written in Elm. You can do cool like animation stuff too. It's really neat. They have a bunch of examples and stuff. I need to actually like sit down and learn it. The Elm has a conference every year, and it's usually held in St. Louis, which is where I live. So like I should get off my ass and learn it. It's really neat. I've learned so much more. I've learned more so far in the stream in 2 weeks of class since break. I'm glad I could help. I'm glad I could help. But yeah, if you're looking for like kind of like a newish language to check out that is really neat, Elm is super neat. A very, very cool language. But yeah, that'll be the next one I learn, I think, because I'm really interested in it. And we have an Elm meetup here locally, so it's a good place to go to like get help and stuff. So okay, so now that things are working, so we're mapping dispatch here. Excuse me. So I only need add category on the main page. So that's correct. The question is, do I need to pass down all of the props down the options bar? Because I don't think so. I don't think so. I forget what the props are on this thing, so we're gonna go check them out. Yo, what's going on, Buddha J? You ever smoke lots of weed to make a website that shows a very detailed tutorial on how to make the perfect pancakes? I'm talking fluff on perfect. Sounds like a good day. Amazing. I have not, for the record. I don't eat pancakes that often. I actually don't eat breakfast really on, at least during the weekday. I drink Soylent, like the meal replacement shakes. I'm not a huge, I don't like eggs, so I'm like not a huge breakfast person. What am I looking for? Oh, I have to actually pass the props object, you dummy. And if you think not liking eggs is a bad food opinion, let me tell you, I am chock full of bad food opinions. Okay, so we have add category, we have the categories, we have history. Like, can I put that in a Redux store? That seems really complicated though, because then I have to, it changes pretty often. I don't think I want that. Try it out and accept that pancakes, maybe a smoothie. Ooh, okay, okay. I hope you have a good night as well, Buddha J. Thanks for stopping by. I love Soylent. Oh, I wouldn't say I love it. It's tolerable. It keeps me hungry until lunch, or it keeps me full until lunch. So I live on eggs, dude. I'm so jealous. I wish I liked them. Like, they're so cheap, so easy to make. They're a good protein source. Like, I just can't do it. I can't do it. It's more tolerable. I don't like the taste of the yolk. That's part of it, but I just don't like the texture of most eggs too. Like, that's what gets me. I'm very much a texture-based eater, so. Oh, in New Zealand, no Soylent? RAP, dude. That's a bummer. I take everything for granted because I live in the US and we don't ever have to worry about not being things not shipping to our country. I've realized I'm very spoiled on that. Okay, so I'm passing, I think, all of our React router stuff down. I think that makes sense, but it's stupid and I don't want to do it. Ugh. So does it make sense just to dispatch all of our props at the top? I don't know, man. That seems really silly. Have you tried omelets? I can diversify the flavor and texture. So the one egg experience in recent memory that I've like had that wasn't terrible is that I made an egg white omelet and like it actually wasn't that bad. I won't say I enjoyed it. But since then, I will admit that like I have found other breakfast foods I like. So like biscuits and gravy now are like my favorite breakfast food. And like any sort of potatoes. So like I fucking love hash browns or like home fries or whatever. So if I do eat breakfast, it's basically just biscuits and gravy and like home fries, which I'm fine with because it's really delicious, but. This is such shitty code, but I'm just gonna, it's fine. It's fine. I just want to implement filters. I don't care about how bad the code is. Okay, we're gonna go work on our filter selector because I've struggled way too much about making this code be halfway decent. Okay, well, we're gonna get rid of that. Okay, so on remove. It's gonna take an event. Am I calling it an event? This is gonna be very similar to our category selector. So E category, or not category, this is gonna be filter now. History. Remove filter path name. Is that everything? Yeah. 3 months here. I miss random food the most: cereal, Soylent, Triscuits, and sweet potato. Oh, interest. They know sweet potatoes? If you don't mind me asking, where were you before you went to New Zealand? And then NZ is New Zealand, right? I'm assuming. It's just interesting. I feel like you don't hear a lot of people like going to New Zealand like to like live there long term. Do meal replacements work? I feel like it'd be hard to function without real direct food. It works fine enough. Like, like it literally holds me over to lunch, I would say. I know my boss eats them, has them for lunch sometimes, and like, I can't do it. I've tried a few times, but I can't have them for more than one meal a day because they don't fill me up enough. But yeah, I don't know. I think they work well enough. You moved from North Carolina? Oh my goodness. You're already a citizen. Oh. Interesting. So you moved from the States to New Zealand. Wow. That's a pretty big adjustment then. Are you going there just for school, or like is it like a long-term, like are you like living there permanently sort of thing? Okay, feel free to not, these are like kind of personal questions, like if you don't want to answer, like absolutely no worries. I'm just thinking because I'm just interested. Oh, meal replacement for 3 months. Oh. Yeah, that would be tough. I think for people who like when Soylent came out were like, I only eat Soylent or only drink whatever, like only have Soylent forever. And I'm like, that's wild to me. If you had Soylent for every meal, that shit would be terrible. You might say interesting, huh? That's very cool. I've always wanted to visit New Zealand. It looks like a very, very beautiful place. But I don't think I'll be moving out of the States anytime soon. And if it were to anywhere, it'd probably be Europe, but I don't know. It's a pretty big life adjustment. Okay, so we're on remove. So we're gonna go ahead and prevent default on our event. And then we're just calling, so the reason we have history and all this stuff, and the reason this is important is because we have to remove it from the URL. So part of the deal with this app is that right now, everything inside, like basically whenever you like make filters or make category, like whenever you basically make a search for streams, everything is going to go in the URL. Later, at some point, I'm probably going to take stuff out of the URL, and I'm going to have it to where you can like one of my stretch features. And I think I mentioned this in the document somewhere. Yeah, so basically I'm going to add an account functionality later. So like eventually you'll be able to like connect your Twitch account to the app. And then for there, you can just save searches that you do a lot. But for now, this will be easy because that way you can like bookmark them or whatever. It's a temporary solution that allows me to get like an MVP out without, you know, risking a lot. So the reason this is kind of complicated is because we're having to basically make our URL, excuse me, we have to like put the info for the filters inside the URL. And with categories, this is fairly straightforward because I don't know if you can see this, but we just put categories and then we put the ID, which is the ID of like the game on Twitch. Or sorry, the ID of the category on Twitch. With filters, it's gonna be a little more interesting because there's more nuance to them because they have like options and stuff. So in this filter design notes, like they're gonna have an ID, a type, and a settings. Oh, I guess I could just store the ID in the... Well, no, I can't just store the ID. This is also the tough part of like, if I had a backend, like I'm trying to do this without like creating a backend and a database and all that, and it makes some things a little difficult. So basically I'm just gonna need to like encode this shit and throw it in the URL. Okay, so I have two helper functions here that are add category to URL and remove category from URL. So we're gonna have to make those for filters real quick. So those are in utils, query. So these are gonna be a bit more complicated, I think. Export function, add filter to URL, filter. So we're just gonna pass the filter. Are you gonna try and commercialize this, or is this more for fun / a resume builder? I am not planning on charging for it in any way. I'm building this because I want it, basically. And I want to learn Redux. Yeah, anyone else using it as like an added benefit, that's fine. But yeah, like I'm gonna like it already is open source, but I'm gonna like, you know, keep it open source and have it around. Also, I think it'd be weird because like, I mean, you can, you know, commercialize stuff that's like connected to Twitch, but I'm like, I'm not really doing anything that special that I feel like is worth paying money for. Not to mention, I don't think people would pay me for it anyways. And I don't want to put ads on it. Like, I use an ad blocker. I don't want that shit, so. Okay, so we have a thing called QS, which is a query string library, and it basically just makes querying our URL a little bit easier, and adding new things to it a little bit easier. So window.location.search is our current URL. So what does parse query does is parse query adds a what are the words I'm trying to say? Parse query adds an object, or when you parse, it parses the URL into an object. So I don't remember how multiple categories works. Anyways. So yeah, so we have parse query. So if filters is already in the parse query, which means someone has already applied at least one filter, then we're simply going to want to add the filters. I'm going to do that later though. Add filters. Okay, so this is going to be filters equals parsed query dot filters plus a comma, I guess, for another one. I don't know how I'm going to stringify this. So this should be, I guess, so filters, we're going to add to the string. It's going to be plus equal JSON dot stringify filter. We're going to see if that works. We'll test this function independently. And then parsed query dot filters is going to be equal to filters. And then we're going to return, we go ahead and stringify the query string back together again at the end. And then we can use, so we're using React Router to control our routing for our page. So then we, am I doing on remove first? Oh, that's such a dumb idea. Well, on add isn't happening here. So on add's gonna happen on the main page, so we're gonna implement that here. So this is const add categories. We're gonna make a new function that's add filters, and we're gonna probably want to pull this out of this file because this file is getting kind of large right now. This needs to be an async call. Okay, so const filters to add. So the reason we're doing this, how this works is basically whenever the page loads, we check the URL and we determine what filters and categories we need to apply based on the URL. So as you'll see with the categories selector, if we look at like how that works right now, whenever you use the form, which you can't see right now because it's not compiling, whenever you use the form to like basically type in what category you want, what that does is it goes ahead and just adds it to the URL. So it doesn't actually add it to our Redux store, which is like seems kind of weird at first. But it adds it to the URL, and whenever it does that, React will re-render, see that and then it'll like reparse the URL essentially, and then it'll like add it to the Redux store from there. So we're gonna do the same system with the filters. And this is the reason that has to be a thing is because, again, I want it to be someone can paste a URL in that leads to the app, and it should be able to determine the entire state of the app from that URL essentially, or most of the state of the app. There's some things like, oh, is it loading streams right now? Like that you can't determine until until the page loads. But yeah, that's the basic premise behind this. And it could be that system is like really shitty and I'm gonna have to throw it out, because categories were like fairly trivial to add, but like filters are actually kind of the hard part of this. So I might run into like actual limitations when implementing these. Okay, so filters to add. So it's going to be an array of stuff. So we're actually just going to be testing our function real quick, which is add filter to URL. And we're going to have a filter, which is going to be like ID 1234. The name of filter is viewer count, I think. This is all just a test right now anyways. And then options. So for the viewer count one, I say user count. Did I ever figure out options for this? So viewer count, and then we'll say options. These are good variable names. So like lower bound is, we'll say, if you're looking for streams between 10 and 50 people, and then upper bound is 50. So this demonstrates enough complexity of like how things are going to look. So depending on what the filter is, they can potentially have a lot of options. So the fact that this is going to be a JSON blob as well is going to be like pretty. That's the most complicated thing about the URL encoding here. Okay, so we're gonna see if this works. Spoiler alert, it's not. It's gonna break robot, I think. Oh, is it even working at all? Oh, duh. Okay, so I made this this function that does it, but I haven't actually called it. So to call add filters. And the reason this looks a little weird that I'm like defining this function here and then calling it is because I'm using useEffect, which is a React hook, which is like a new React concept. useEffect runs whenever the app starts, and then it runs whenever certain variables change. So you define these variables in this array. So whenever parsed query and or I don't remember why. Yeah, so I have to add category. Add category is basically never going to change, but whenever parsed query changes, so whenever the URL changes, this callback here inside useEffect will run. The problem is you can't make this callback here. You can't make it asynchronous. So I'm using async because I'm using async await syntax, which if you're familiar with promises in JavaScript, it's just a syntactical sugar way to represent promises. But yeah, you can't async the entire function in useEffect. So I have to make like separate async functions and then call them. So it's kind of a weird little workaround. So that's why that seems kind of odd that I'm like defining a function and then calling it. I guess I could immediately invoke them as well, but yeah. All right, so now shit's gonna break, I think. Oh, this actually, sorry. I forgot. This actually isn't going to change the URL. This is actually just going to return a string, which is better anyways. So now if we console log that, oh God, that's terrible. Did it work though? I think so. So let's, so we know the categories part's there. Filters, we have an ID, there's our 1, 2, 3, 4. We have a name, which is viewer count in the options. So the question is if we can take that and return it back. So that's what my rehydrate filters function is for. So now we get to try that. Excuse me. What's going on, JSAP? I do not know Haskell. Someone else here might, but I do not. It's also on my list of languages to learn, but have not learned yet, so. Oh, here, I need to fix my chatbot thing real quick. Let me do that real quick. Hold on. It's actually quite annoying that it does this. Well, okay, it's probably not annoying. It's probably a good thing to do. But the problem is that I'm using the Streamlabs chatbot and it like makes you regenerate tokens every so often. I just wish it had a better way of telling you that you need to like regenerate your tokens, because I always forget that I do. Or like, I don't notice it basically until I'm streaming and then it's like, oh, your bot's not on. That's kind of an issue, isn't it? I just think it's because you have to reauthorize it, but yeah. Okay, well, yeah. All right, that's the bot's actually back online now, which is nice. I was gonna add something here. Sorry, I should have done this at the beginning of stream, but I'm just gonna do it right now. Videos and subscribe. I have that link somewhere. Okay, that link works. Cool. Okay, our chatbot is back online. The other thing I was going to mention that I was like making the command for is that, so Twitch has started doing it to where your VODs only last for 14 days when you're not a partner, which is kind of unfortunate. So I decided today that I'm going to start doing, start uploading all my VODs for the streams onto YouTube. So I just made a YouTube channel. There's no videos on there now, but I'll be doing some like light editing of them. I'll basically just be like cutting out the breaks, any breaks that I take in there, and then just posting them on there. So if you're interested at all in like subscribing so you can keep track of previous streams, those all go on there. I will also eventually be probably making content for YouTube because I'm interested in that. I just don't have anything on there right now. Yeah, we're diversifying soon. I also want to start blogging too, which is actually I'm more interested in, will probably happen faster than YouTube. But yeah, subscribe to your boy and get in on the ground floor while nothing is there. There's no incentives. Okay, so I need to okay, so basically I should do so I think inside a browser is where my rehydrate filters is. Yeah, so here what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and wait, where's my browser getting called from? Is it not? Oh, final references is shift F12 or peak references. So, maybe it gets a browser. Okay, so we have, dude, I'm buying low and selling high when you have, is that 200,000? 2 million? So that's the call right there. Where are my, oh, there's my dev tools. I was like, what's going on here? Okay, so this will be my URL thing and shit will be, oh God, that URL is so fucking long. Oh, it's so bad. Oh no. Oh, wait a second, hold on. Oh, this is, okay, hold on. So we're gonna see console log, so parsed filters should be here. So we're gonna see if this actually worked. So parsed filters, it's an array of a string. Is that 20 billion? 287% of the world population. Absolutely incredible. We're aiming big here, boys. This is the stream of the future. Okay, so I need to stop console logging. We'll get rid of this bit. I've already generated it, so it's fine. Console log parsed filters, parsed query filters. Okay. Well, also I can get rid of main page props. So like if I do JSON dot, it's JSON dot parse. Yep. I can remember distinguish between the JavaScript and the PHP ones. Why is this yelling at me? Oh shit, boys, it worked, right? Options, oh shit, it worked. Okay, so yeah, so this code I was starting to work on this. So this should be JSON.parse. So that's basically if there's only, so this is if filters exist. Here we actually need to restructure this this logic. So if it's not correct. Russian bots. Amazon will start losing money at the excess web traffic. Yeah, to be honest, actually one of the problems to this is that I like get rate limited on the Twitch API so fucking fast because I have to make like a bunch of queries. So this project may crash and burn in the course of like 2 more streams after I realize it's just not feasible for me to do it given the API limitations. Then we'll figure out something else to do. Okay, so filters is in parse query, and so if, oh no, it formatted that really poorly. So if it's not an array, that means there's only one filter. Yeah, if there's not an array, that means there's only one filter. And then, so then we just put it, we basically always treat it as an array here. So, and then if that's not the case, that means it is an array. So that means there's multiple filters. So in that case, parse query dot filters for each filter. We're going to set up a what am I calling this? I'm parsing the filters again. So this should be parsed filters is equal to an array. So for each filter, we do parsed filters dot push onto the JSON.parse on the filter. So that should create an array of parsed filters. And then after that, parsed query dot filters is going to be equal to parsed filters. Yeah, this code needs to move out of here anyways because it's not in the right spot, but time to go be productive. Yo, thanks for hanging out, dude. I really appreciate it. Have a good rest of your day. Oh, I guess it's day over for you and Z. Yeah, have a good rest of your day. I think so. Fuck time zones, man. I don't know how that shit works. Yeah, thanks for stopping by the stream. Appreciate it. Okay. So yeah, so if they're filters, then... Okay, so that's correct, I think. We're gonna need to test stuff with multiple filters. The question is where do we want to get started next? And should I get started next? Because it's already 10:40. 10:45, actually. Kochin, are you still around and interested in gaming, perhaps? I might play a few games of League. By few, I mean 2. Because that's all I should play before I go to bed. Oh, I'm out of water. Fug. Let me see if I can commit some of this. I have a lot of unsafe files. So I can commit this. This commit will add flex CSS for the options bar. And then options bar, we renamed this. Stage that. That's not done. Stage that. Stage that. Okay, I think that's everything. This commit will refactor filters bar to options bar, which is a less confusing name. And then I'm going to stash the rest of these changes. Starting work on filters. Oh shoot, I hate when it does that. Starting on basic filter implementation. Redux is added, base URL encoding, need to have way to add filters and test. Cool. So the plan is that we're going to get everything working in terms of like the filters are going to be in the Redux store. They're going to be in the URL. You're able to remove them and they're not actually going to do anything until the very end because then I'll have to like change how we're making the requests. But yeah, that's the plan right now.